SMT Nation, we back nation. We've got a pretty loaded video for you here today. We're going to be talking about some changes that are happening, I think, behind closed doors to a certain level at T-Mobile, the company in a different position today than it was several years ago. While everyone looks at T-Mobile as this growing company, they're actually not. They're actually shrinking. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce their operational expenses. They're trying to, reduce headcount. They obviously did this even during the merger process when they promised they wouldn't. They said they would be net jobs positive. They weren't. But they're continuing the trend of trying to lean out the company. I mean, they're doing it from executives to retail to engineering again. All right, so all this has happened in the past, and I think there's more coming. And, usually when there's smoke, there's fire. And, some of the stuff in here we'll call speculative, but I can tell you with confidence that these same reports that we've seen in the past, they ended up playing out exactly as the information stated. So I would say that there's some confidence in these things. Anyways, let me tell you guys what's going on. I'll tell you what I know. I'll remember, I'll put the disclaimer out there, nothing official until it becomes official. But these things are definitely happening. All right, so I'll go ahead and link this article here, which we're going to cover in today's video, from the T-Mobile report about Marcus East and layoffs at the company. All right, so it'll be in the description. Also in the description, the Real SMT Buy Me Coffee link. Support your creators directly. Buy us a coffee. The link is in the description. There's other ways to support us as well. All right, if you're looking for a really good deal on wireless service, check out our partner, Mint Mobile. You know the Fox, you know the value they bring to the table. The deflation promo pricing still active. Take advantage of those deals by using our partner link, mintmobile.com/Sneed. Switching is super easy. They'll ship you a SIM card real quick, or you can activate on eSIM, which is really easy and seamless. So check them out. All right, so for starters, with respect to the first piece here, all right, we've got an executive out at T-Mobile. His name is Marcus East, the EVP and Chief Digital Officer at T-Mobile, now leaving the company. Being reported here that he's gone by the end of the month. I guess questioning his leadership. Apparently he dropped the ball on a couple of different, projects or things in the last year or so. His replacement, I don't know who this is. Nestor Cano appears to be replacing him. I'm not sure why. I don't see many specific details here on the report. But, reducing executive count, it's not really surprising. We see Dish doing this. We've seen some shuffling around at Verizon. We've seen individuals at AT&T leaving, like the HR reps as well. Or the HR chief. But, this is not going to be the only thing. There's going to be more layoffs as well. So something I can speak to with some pretty high confidence is layoffs with retail, right? That's probably coming. And the reason I know this is I've already kind of reached out to a couple of sources, and all indications are you've got regional store managers really putting a lot of pressure on stores to hit certain metrics. There's certain attachments and upgrade, metrics that have to be hit. And, T-Mobile's who has really actually already been pretty aggressive with this. They're going to push even harder, and they're also reducing commission structures on a lot of those attachments. So some of the things I've heard of are like upgrade commission cuts from like $10 to $5. That means reps are going to be making a little bit less money. They're going to have to work harder to outperform their peers with respect to certain metrics. I'm guessing that certain underperforming, reps are going to probably be shown the door for, just being ineffective or less effective than their competition. And then the ones that are good, but, too many at the same store, maybe they move them to other locations. I think also with store managers, you might see some consolidation as well. They might have to manage multiple stores or something like that. I've heard of those things. So there is definitely going to be some things happening like that. Reducing headcount in retail is super easy for them to do, and it's it's a way that they can reduce operations. I've also heard rumblings of engineering being greatly reduced. And some of the stuff I've heard with respect to this are like field operations being reduced, reducing headcount, minimizing, just going with what's, bare bones, which you have to have and nothing extra. Different types of regional setups could change. I know house field engineers are probably on the table here to be either reduced and or eliminated, which could potentially impact network performance, especially in response to troubles or issues. So, and that's not good for T-Mobile. Maybe contractor only type model like what we saw with Sprint. I don't know if you guys remember that, but at the end when Sprint was doing their thing, I mean, they were just waiting for Ericsson engineers to go out and do installations and repairs, which meant towers were down for several days, right? And being less responsive. So this is pretty bad. Some of the credible sources I've contacted and reached, contact with in the past are reporting some of these things. I know you got the retail side, you've got the engineering side, now executives. That's a lot of smoke to not have any fire. So we'll see. Verizon laid off some customer care. I mean, T-Mobile's probably going to do some of that as well. AT&T, their corporate headcount is going to be getting slayed over the next several months to the tune of thousands, right? Potentially over the next several months. All right. So, they're all just looking at the operations. They're all just looking at this as, if we get a downturn in the economy, we got to be lean, right? And don't forget about the shareholders. The investor wants free cash flows. All right. T-Mobile is going to emphasize EBITDA. T-Mobile is going to emphasize free cash flow. T-Mobile is going to emphasize, service revenue growth. They want to be looked at like Verizon and AT&T with respect to financials, and this is how they'll do it. Stuff like this. So just put this on your radar. We'll be monitoring this closely, but it's it could be a rocky, bumpy ride. All right, so let me know what you guys think of all this. Have you been impacted by these types of moves from any of the telcos? What do you guys think is going to be the reach of this? Do you think all those segments of the business will be impacted? It doesn't look like anything's off the table. It looks like they're exploring it all. All right, what say you? You're all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.